Here's a question for you. How does a community dream? Like, how do you tell the story of a whole community of people, as diverse and complex as they all are, chasing their dreams? Well, I think the opening number of Jon M. Chu's In the Heights shows us how. Let me explain. The movie's first musical number opens on Usnavi de la Vega, the main character, bringing us into his bodega.
I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated.
That's right. He's talking directly to us, the audience, straight up introducing himself, telling us about how he emigrated from the Dominican Republic.
I immigrated from the single greatest little place in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. I love it.
Telling us about his desire to go back.
Ever since my folks passed on, I haven't gone back. God damn, I gotta get on now.
And about the way he was brought up by the community's abuela, Claudia.
That was abuela. She's not really my abuela, but she practically raised me. This corner is her escuela now.
Then, after giving us a quick GPS guide on navigating to his neighborhood, Usnavi shares some of the day-to-day struggles of life as bodega owner. You know, silly little things like having a broken fridge, not having fresh milk for coffee, the constant pressure of gentrification, only making enough money to just barely get by in a world of constantly rising rents and stagnant wages.
And ever since the rent went up, it's gotten mad expensive, but we live with just enough.
The point is, the first full minute of this song, the title track, In the Heights, is just Usnavi telling us his story. But we don't stay tied to him for the entire song. It isn't long before we meet the Washington Heights community. Genuinely, this movie wastes no time showing us where its heart truly is. Right after Usnavi's first verse, a chorus of harmonious voices from the entire neighborhood hop in, singing this refrain.
In the heights, outfit the lights and start my day. There are flights and endless steps and bills to pay.
And it's here in this refrain where we start to see, for the first time, that this movie really is about a community, as much as it is about Usnavi or any of the other main characters. Where we get to hear the members of the community proudly proclaim that this is their story too. It's about their day-to-day struggles, and it's about their hard work, and it's about their hopes and dreams, accompanied by simple but powerful imagery of all of them doing their thing. People waking up and getting dressed for school and work, cooking breakfast, doing up their hair, parents walking their kids in and out of brownstones, down busy streets, and onto busy buses. It's a really beautiful glimpse at a place that just feels real. Not the singing part, that part's kinda unrealistic. But the part where regular, real people exist living real lives. As hairdressers, nail artists, piragüeros, cops, doctors, line cooks, kitchen staff, barbers, lawyers, custodians, and of course, bodega owners. Which brings us right back to Usnavi, who goes on to introduce us to our main characters. These are all the people closest to Usnavi, his friends, family, and the owners of some local businesses. The only main character who we don't meet in this song is Nina Rosario, but she gets a whole song to herself later, so we've already met Abuela Claudia. Then there's Kevin Rosario, owner of the cab company, Daniela, Carla, and Kuka from the salon, Usnavi's cousin Sonny, his friend Benny, and finally his crush Vanessa. After we've gotten the introduction to all of our main characters, including the Washington Heights community, we reach my favorite part of this entire opening scene. Obviously, we've already seen tons of ingenious and meaningful visual storytelling in this number so far. A lot of smart directing, cinematography, and editing choices have already elevated the song's lyrics with a lot of beautiful shots. But the song's finale is some of the most modern filmmaking I've seen in any movie musical. It starts off with Benny teasing Usnavi about his fear of chasing what he really wants in life. Benny tells him,
Take a walk outside, you look exhausted. Boss, don't let life slide.
And then he says,
The whole hood is struggling, times is tight, and you're stuck to this corner like a street light.
which takes us to the shot.
The shot.
What shot?
The shot. The money shot. Undeniable, singular, the Oprah shot.
The Oprah shot?
The single shot that circles everything back to Usnavi, his relationship with his community, and all of their hopes and dreams, and then ties them all together. And the best part is, it's so simple. It's just Usnavi, standing behind a window, trapped, looking out at his home, this street corner, this neighborhood, this place he's known all his life, and knowing that he wants to leave it all behind, but also knowing that deep down inside, he desperately wants to cling onto it. Here's what director Jon M. Chu had to say about this shot.
that shot of of Usnavi in the window in our movie, and he's singing outside, and you can feel the yearning, the hope, what it feels like to dream, and yet there is a window in his way, and the reflection of what's in the window is the community dancing and basically daring him to break that window, challenging him, say, I dare you to dream bigger than this, and he has to break it. To me, that was what I got from that show, and I knew that image very early that that's what I wanted to do. So
all song long, we've seen that Usnavi takes all of the hardships in his life in stride. But looking through this window, we finally see his regret, his nostalgia, his hunger. And as he raps about some bright future where he'll live in paradise, away from Washington Heights, away from poverty, we suddenly know why his big dreams are so hard to chase.
Cause my parents came with nothing, they got a little more and sure we're poor, but yo, at least we got the store, and it's all about the legacy they left with me, it's destiny, and one day I'll be on the beach with Sunny writing checks to me.
It's clear in this shot that there's deep hurting sitting right below the surface of Usnavi's joy and optimism. And that becomes a sort of motif throughout the rest of the musical. People singing about their hopes and dreams with smiles on their faces, then eventually revealing their disappointment about the obstacles in their way, before finally landing back on optimism. That's how a community dreams, with lofty goals, unfortunate setbacks, and fierce hope. Because when you come from an impoverished community of color in America, what can you do if you don't have hope? As the song reaches its final end refrain, we finally get to see Usnavi and all the members of his community come together as they emphasize their commonality and their shared heritage. And they show us one last time how their differences are overcome by their shared desires.
Today's all we got, so we cannot stop. This is our block.
Of course, they aren't all completely unified, not by race or ethnicity or cultural heritage, but they are unified in wanting to take care of themselves and to take care of their loved ones, to get by and achieve success in their lives. They're unified in their hopes and dreams. The Washington Heights portrayed in this movie is a community that lives in harmony in spite of their differences, instead of living in division because of them. Of course, none of the stuff about dreams and desires, or the complexities of community, or any of that good stuff, would work or resonate at all if the people on screen weren't all delivering charming and captivating performances, especially Anthony Ramos as Usnavi. Now, I'm definitely not going to be touching that one thing about Anthony Ramos' personal life here. This isn't really the place for that. I'm only trying to comment on his performance as Usnavi in this movie, and whatever goofy stuff Anthony Ramos has done has nothing to do with any of that. So, with that said, yeah, the energy he brings as Usnavi is really charismatic and convincing. And most importantly, it helps bring the character's life to life, which means that when I'm watching him stand at his window and rap about his feelings as he looks out at an ensemble of dancers doing their choreography on the other side, I don't feel like I'm seeing a carefully constructed musical performance. I feel like I'm looking at a person who wants to chase his dreams. And the same exact thing goes for Corey Hawkins, Leslie Grace, Melissa Barrera, and obviously the rest of the main supporting cast, plus all of the background performers who populate Washington Heights. All of them together do an amazing job at drawing us into this small, beautiful community. And so, yeah, the entire story of In the Heights is encapsulated in this opening number. Everything that I think makes it powerful and impactful, weaved like a perfect tapestry, with its character intros, authentic lyrics, and the simple but beautiful imagery of a community just going through a couple of days in the life of what it's like in Washington Heights. So, one more time, how does a community dream? Well, In the Heights is your wildly energetic, musical answer to that question. I remember as soon as I found out this movie was being directed by the same guy who directed Step Up to The Streets, I knew we were in good hands. And yeah, it's filled with memorable musical numbers, insane dance sequences, and really solid performances and directing, but on top of that, it's a story starring people of color that isn't stereotypically about crime, drugs, and gangs like so many others are. It's a story about dreaming big dreams while also carrying on the legacies of the generations that came before us. And it's a story that reflects the stories of many real immigrant communities in the US, who find ways to live in a sort of harmony together and to work hard every day to scrape by and survive the hostility of their surroundings. And all of that is why it's a shame that this story made basically negative money at the box office. A lively summer marketing campaign and word of mouth from theater kids weren't enough to save this movie from the fact that in 2021, the pandemic was still keeping most moviegoers at home. But still, In the Heights was a delightfully entertaining musical romp, and more importantly, it was a powerful step forward for Latinx representation on screen, while still telling a widely relatable story. I mean, even I connected on a really deep level with In the Heights, and if you saw my last video, it was literally all about being Asian. Still, this movie hit really hard for me, and for lots of other non-Latin American audience members. Because stories like In the Heights resonate with people, even though their focus might be specific, because their meaning is universal. We should always be trying to experience, support, and most importantly, tell more stories like that. So, if you haven't seen it already, or if you haven't seen it in a while, go watch In the Heights.